is match point between these two. What are we gonna be expecting here for this very tightly knitted fight?
Oh, they're doing the dual lane thing. So this is one thing that
Fast too.
both teams are prioritizing for. Yeah, exactly. And I think it should be okay. It'll be pretty fun because Danny, obviously he has a lot of pressure on him to actually perform. You want to make sure that you get that level 4 at a very good timing, so that you're able to do the dives and also secure the turtle objectives for the Lancelot. I mean, Lancelot is just going to do his thing anyways, right? But you want to make sure that as an Arca, you actually capitalize on that timing, especially with the spin.
Well, as excited as I am for this game, it is definitely going to be a bittersweet one because the loser is going home. They won't see day 2 or day 3 at all. It's going to be relegated from the league. But as of now, both teams, I'm expecting a little bit more on the passive side. They don't want to throw too much on the table. They might wait for the first turtle to spawn up. Let's take a little emblemization to see how they work. Does look like Evil trying to go for a little bit more early game rotations. They are copying and mirroring Alchemy's key win condition in the early game. As of now, I saw like Carrot, he burned the flicker, so he won't have that flicker for the first turtle spawning up in 10 seconds.
Yes, but it actually looks like both teams are mirroring each other. You can see that Valentina heading over. They want to get to fast level 4 on both sides. Archive Fall also being prioritized into the Edith. Should be okay. Very even out. I'm very excited for this first turtle.
As it's just gonna be slowly working their way over to everyone getting a level 4. That is going to be what they're looking out for. As Powerful as well as Twist immediately leaps onto their prey and brings Jet down. As such, we're not gonna be expecting any INU for this upcoming fight. The rest of Evil, they're still gonna be putting as much of their focus and emphasis down onto one single member. With Dani, with not a lot of help to work with, that is gonna be Dani taken down. Icon, he don't have any vision at all.
Oh, he's trying for it.
Yeah, he's trying to go for it. He thought that maybe the...
Oh my god!
What was that? Made full use of the Appraiser's wrath from Powerful. And of course with the Phantom Execution, Icon took the turtle. What?
That Thoros though, just in the nick of time. What a play!
Oh, somebody messed up there. The turtle shouldn't have been that low. But at the same time, Icon, doing a bit of a Kyrie cosplay for a bit, working really, really hard. I'm loving that. These individual plays always never fail to surprise me. I'm liking it. I'm hoping you guys back home are enjoying it too. And now, I think you guys pretty much suspected, right, that Alchemy might want to give that up.
Yo, that wasn't even the Phantom Execution that actually got it. That was actually
a retribution.
It was just a regular dash plus a retribution. So
yeah.
he just thought, you know what? I saw that the turtle's low now. Let me just yoink it right underneath Powerful's nose. And Powerful didn't even have the chance to react at all with his own retribution.
Well, with the Akai in the wrong position, it's so difficult for Evil to even secure a kill. It's sort of like they want to go in, but they always push back. It's always very, very defensive with the heavy spin. Icon getting stunlocked right here.
A very aggressive push coming from the side of Evil. Went straight into the faces of Alchemy. It's like as though Evil is just like, you know what? No more. Playtime's over, kids. Let us just run right in. And Evil very easily takes 2 of the heads of Alchemy. And they have got 3 kills in total with a 600 gold lead already.
I mean, yeah, sure, Icon, you get the turtle, but Evil respond with, you know what, then we'll take your jungle, we'll take your life. And this is what they're expecting. I'm pretty sure you're feeling pretty confident right now. And this is also another clear example why you ban out Twist to Yuzong.
Yeah, actually, it's very smart of Jet to actually take that Primal Wrath. It scales very hard into magic damage, so using the Primal Wrath into your own advantage deals a lot of damage, tries to push Evil back out of the way. But as much as Alchemy has a lot of these flashy plays, Evil are still up ahead. They have 3 kills to their name. They're looking for more. This is the second turtle of the game.
As now, the turtle slowly gonna get pulled right out. Playing a little bit of turtle dance, I gotta have to say. Both Alchemy and Evil, both sides, they have very suitable candidates for holding the neutral objective. So I guess that there could be a very big chance that we're just going to be dancing around for a very long time. So our focus and our emphasis is very likely going to be onto the side lanes. How effective are each side clearing waves? It does seem as though Teresa is a tad bit faster than Twist. But let's remember this. Twist is playing as a Yuzong after all. He does have the Black Dragon form. They can eventually get in. I have no idea how, but that was a very anticlimactic, neutral objective take.
Yeah, it was, Icon just secured it with the Retribution. The heavy spin just pushed Powerful out of the way, giving them a lot of space, a lot of time. Now, taking a little itemizations, it does look like the War Axe is built by Lancelot, by Icon. So, hold on a second.
All the way to the back lines. We do have the Earth Shatter Plus, the onwards combination. Carrot immediately launched himself right out of the Fireaxe, but unfortunately, that is going to give Pacifist a single kill. Alchemy fights back, getting themselves one. We do have a little bit of fight back from the Alchemy coming in the middle lane as Icon takes the turret in the middle.
It actually looks like Evil looking a little bit, stubborn in the way like they want to approach the game. But this is because they have absolute faith in their game plan. Like we saw, Twist, he went straight to the bottom lane and they didn't want to fight. The rest of the team clearly wanted to back off. But I think Powerful just, trying to push the boundaries a little bit to just keep Alchemy on their toes. But even back to the turtle fight, right? Don't you the reason why it was so anticlimactic is because Yuzong was still on the way, Evil were not ready for the fight, and I think they were expecting the turtle pull to last a little bit longer. But Alchemy, recognizing that the Yuzong was not in, immediately tried to rush it. It was a gamble, but it paid off at the end of the day. But this game's still relatively even, as both teams will look to try and reset for their next turtle objective.
Well, to be honest though, from a lane-to-lane matchup on the EXP lane, it does look like Yuzong would have an easier time up against a Terizla, but it's always Pruski moving faster than Twist. He's always one step ahead. He's always there first before Twist even comes down online. But he's looking for trades. Evil want to just find the side lanes objectives. They want to take down those turrets. They want to open up that map for that opportunity for a nice little flank.
Eventually down in the bottom lane, there Donnie just going to be popping out with the heavy spin right down on the Twist, making sure the Twist would not be able to get a fight back. But unfortunately, there's not quite enough Shao Rest, so they built up on top of that Kai. Jet, on the other hand, is finding himself in a really deep situation. He flickers himself backwards just to make sure that he don't get clipped by the Appraiser's Wrath. But in the end, he's still going to have to go down. As such, that is going to be quite a bit of a trade from both sides. Evil losing 2 and Alchemy only losing 1.
They need everybody here for this team fight. The turtle got reset, so it should buy them a little bit more time. Jaces should be able to make it in time for the turtle fight. But Alchemy, once again, trying not to give them that timing. Powerful. What can you do? This time you can't do anything.
Icon still sees the turtle for himself. Evil has lost 3 turtles in a row, and that is going to be the result of unable to just hold down to the jungle domination or perhaps even river domination. The rest of the members from the side of Evil just going to be jumping right in onto Alchemy, and Donnie disengages the fight with a quick heavy spin of him. And Icon, even Phantom Execution himself, right out of the way, allowing them to make sure that they keep on with this lead.
Evil doesn't have an answer for Pacifist. He's always in and out. He's always using the BMI to its fullest potential. And Evil, on this side, even though they had the early lead in terms of kills, Alchemy just focused on the objectives, especially the turtle. And with this turtle, got them up 2,200 gold lead. The lane management is favoring the side of Alchemy. Evil, they are forced to back off and pick up the scraps.
And Edith having a very, very tough time. You can see their game plan is try to get the Edith to try and lock down that Lancelot, but it's not really going as well as they would have liked, considering how fast Alchemy are playing. They're playing really, really fast pace. The Claude, I'm pretty sure he's up to that next power spike real soon, and it's going to be up for the Lord especially. Question is, how does Evil adapt to this right now?
Pacifist is online already. He already has 2 core items, and he's halfway building up toward his third. His Holy Trinity is coming up online. He's always farming up. There's never a situation, there's never a second that he is not having he's not hitting a creep.
As now in the middle lane, we are looking at a little bit of domination coming from both sides. They would really want some dominance, I gotta have to say. Icon going head up against Powerful. Do note that Icon is playing a little bit more towards the tank jungle on his side, as he does have the war at Thunderbelt and Endless Battle. So it's very much of a hybrid, I gotta have to say. He's still relatively tanky, so he's gonna be pretty A-okay.
As of this time,
I think they're looking trying to reclaim the map, right? And one thing I am concerned about is that they are trying not to, they're playing too safe, don't you think so? Like Churros, like Evil are playing so safe, they're not burning any ultimates. Meanwhile, Alchemy, they're taking all the initiatives.
I think I agree with you. I think they shouldn't go in a little bit too aggressively because
Wait, what?
there's always a time for a flank, and this
Oh,
is where
no.
Pacifist gets stunned up. The BMI puts him to safety.
No, no,
but
no.
Here
Dragon,
comes
dragon,
Twist.
Dragon. Yep, exactly. Because Twist was expecting that. As such, they did manage to bring Pacifist down almost immediately, and Alchemy understood that. They're gonna have to run all the way
One
back.
more.
But Karen, look at that! With a quick little flicker plus onslaught. Oh, sorry, the onwards. They did manage to hold him down for a tad little bit, but not quite enough to really lock anyone down for a secure.
Okay, the passive team, the passive gameplay is working out for Evil. All they need to do is react to Alchemy's aggressiveness coming into them. They still like that range. Evil, they're playing towards their advantage.
So it looks like both teams have kind of adapted in their own way. Lesser priority from the Lord. They want to get the kills first so that they're more confident in taking that big objective. And now Evil, they'll be taking a little bit of a step back for now, just to make sure that things don't get too hyped up. But Alchemy, as usual, like they want to take things they want to take this bull by the horns. They're going straight for that Lord objective. But powerful, already reading them there. Arkai, he has so much to do. I would say his spin will be this will be the most important one of the game so far.
Now, with no support healers in both of these teams,
No.
they can't afford to dance like they used to within Game 1 and Game 2. There's no element of heals coming in from either side, but Evil looking for a nice flank. They're trying to use that Lord as bait. Powerful. Pulling the trigger.
Information is going to be key coming in from the side of Alchemy, but unfortunately, because they don't know anyone or where anyone is, this is bad. As Icon doesn't have a lot of help to work with, Puski is just going to be left behind to deal with the entire country. So now, the entire nation crumbles on top of Alchemy, and Alchemy collapse with not a Puski in this battlefield. And now Pacifist, he was hoping for really a big fight. He's really hoping for a miracle to work out for him. But unfortunately, that Blazing Duet didn't really do so well. And split push, yes, that is going to be the Claude that immediately got himself out of the fight using BMI and into middle lane. So at least, out of all of that, they may have lost Puski, but they managed to get the middle lane second tier defense turret. Great macro in my opinion.
And what you're seeing right here are at least a dozen split-second decisions constantly being made from the team fights to what happens that, okay, we've lost the Lord control. We're going to try for the split push. What can we do to alleviate the pressure so that Icon can try at the same time for the Retribution skill? He hasn't used the Retribution yet, but now it looks like all the cooldowns are coming back off. Maybe not on the side of Evil, now they literally just got the Dragon off cooldown. We could be looking at another huge team fight, but it's about who is going to give ground first. And Irithel trying to push up the wave, trying to get Alchemy, get one person to kind of like respond to the lane a little bit, but Pacifist not allowing to do that. We saw that in Game 2. He's going to try and be the one responsible to push back, pull back Twist from that team fight so that his team is able to commit to securing that Lord. But both teams, right now, this is a huge stare down.
The Evil is actually deploying two members, Twist and Jace's, to try to maintain Pacifist's position. Because if you leave him alone, he's definitely gonna try to do a backdoor, trying to look for a backdoor opportunity. And Alchemy could very well take down all of these objectives. It's all about splitting the lanes and trying to maintain that the macro play, the lane priority, and getting down the awareness of your maps. And Alchemy's playing it just right. It's all about the mind games.
Information overload, I'm gonna have to say, from the side of Alchemy as well. Carrot actually dove right in with onwards, but didn't really quite clip onto anyone. And Alchemy, I think that this is back to what they have done in Game 2. Just push the long lanes using a Claude with great amount of mobility. And let's not forget, they even have a Lancelot. So even if Lancelot is not anywhere around the Lord's Pit, hey, he's still in middle lane. He can still clear the way fast enough and get into the fight fast enough, because we're talking about Lancelot after all. We do have Dani that can actually hold on to the Lord, hold on to the neutral objective pretty well. Puski himself can do the same thing as well. But for now, it is going to be a quick little taunt, but unfortunately that's not going to do anything. Twist flies around the heads of Alchemy, but unfortunately that's not going to be clipping on anyone. As such, he's not going to be using his Petrify just yet. A lot of their battle spells are still left intact, except for the side of the top lane. Claude is still going to be beating down onto this turret as much as he can, and even unleashed over to the Blazing Duet. What was that?
He's a madman!
He just went in, he knew what was at stakes, and he knew whether he can even win that or not. As such, Alchemy, they understood they understood the game plan now. With no JS around, there is
Another
no
time he's
more
doing it again.
of that. What? Dude, Passive is completely unhinged. Someone gotta have to deal with him. And now they have expanded 3 members to deal with Pacifist. That is essentially gonna be a free Lord. And the rest of the Alchemy is just gonna be focusing down on onto Powerful to make sure that he don't get a retribution down on the Lord. They may have lost 1, but even they have lost so much more.
There's the typical split push to fight a typical team fight composition. Evil, they have to exhaust so many members just to chase down one guy. Alchemy doing so much work, so much effectiveness onto taking down these objectives. Evil, they have to respond, they have to sit back and into a barren wasteland onto their base.
Evil just not able to adapt once again. You know, they're just struggling with, I would say, with a bit of a monkey problem. And this is something which they were going to have to figure out. The game is not completely lost just yet. They're just 3,000 gold behind. And they managed to get the Lord defense out here. They cleared it out nicely. So they only have the waves. This is basically going to be a very dragged out game. Can they bring things down back to a balance?
This is a kind of like a classic, right? When we're looking at a team that plays on team fight compositions, where it becomes kind of like a game of rock, paper, scissors. Whenever you are on a team fight composition, you essentially lose to, you know, split push composition to a certain extent. And we go all the way around with that pick-off kind of thing, right? So back to the trifecta, this is what Evil has been lacking of in this game so far. They lack the mentality and the understanding for the fundamentals as to how Alchemy's lineup is capable of doing. As such, they keep losing sight of this Claude. It's like they're trying to fulfill a little bit too much. They want to get domination and dominance on the lower side or around the neutral objective. But in the meantime, that means that their long lane is completely exposed. While the long lane is completely exposed, no one is really keeping tabs on it.
They're shifting their win conditions. They know that at either side, at any point, one point of time, they can put Icon on the offside, or they can either put Pacifist on the offside. It doesn't really matter because all of them has escape mechanisms and they play very, very well. As long as they split Evil apart, Evil is going to be in shambles. Alchemy can overturn any situation as long as they maintain the split push capabilities that they have.
If anything, Evil right now, they're, like I said, you know, they're not, you guys mentioned it, they're not adapting as well because of the Claude push. And they're too reliant on Twist being the one to fix the waves. So they need to rearrange the pieces right now. They still have the options of, you know, maybe getting the Irithel, or even getting like, yeah, Irithel +1 to go and like, push the waves back out. And then it comes down to Powerful, who is able to hold it together with Twist to try and do that. Because we've seen it before. The 1v4, he doesn't die yet, as long as he maintains his positioning. These are the options that are there, but in the heat of the moment, they're not really thinking. Maybe it could be the fear kicking in, and that is what holding Evil back. So Alchemy right now, we talked about how they couldn't close games before. Right now, they have the advantage. They need to play the waves a lot better.
I'm looking at their positioning right now. It does look like Alchemy, they want to try to go for a backdoor approach. They want to put Pacifist on the offside, away from that Lord. They want to bait out that Lord and try to pull Evil into a team fight, which they know that they can't win. They know that they can't take because they have to deal with a very, very sneaky Pacifist.
I think they're expecting it, and this is what they managed to adapt, but this may have been a bit too late. But hold that thought. Now they're trying to go back in. I think the 3 of them will try for a play. They need to try and snipe the Valentina at least. Oh, they can't do it.
Oh, the backside. They force Dani to work onto the heavy spin, and it doesn't seem like Alchemy will be able to hold on to that for a little while longer. But take a look at the bottom lane. We still have got a split push ongoing.
As long as Evil split up, they need to find someone to handle Pacifist. This trying to do a 3-2, so 3 men at the Lord. They can't fight in terms of numbers. Alchemy is definitely going to outnumber them in terms of that Lord fight. It's all about baiting out. Their goal, or Evil's goal, is not to get that Lord. It's just to use it as bait. Try to get a lane management away from that Lord fight.
I think they're also trying to like do, you know, basically karma. Trying to do what Alchemy has been doing to them. But it's not going to matter. There is a tier 2 still standing. The Irithel and the Edith, they are going to try and get back in the nick of time, but it's very unlikely. Oh, Evil actually wants to try and burn it ultimately. Now the Lord reset, they buy themselves a bit more time. They see the Claude, they have to commit here. This is their timing.
It's gonna take a little bit more than that for Alchemy to take this Lord for themselves.
The mid wave's open though.
Evil is doing whatever that they can, and do note and remember, yes, we do have a naturally pushing wave in the top and the bottom lane. Alchemy doesn't even have to pour out so much resource down in the middle and the top in order to get themselves a lane priority. But hey, look, Alchemy, you're gonna have to look out in the middle lane. But hey,
Watch the back.
first turret, what's that gonna matter at all, right? Passive is just gonna be diving all the way deep with that blazing duet. Did they manage to pick one off? And that is going to be JS. Powerful and Twist doesn't really have a lot of health to work with, while Carrot is stuck in between of the sandwich. He's hoping that he'll be able to do quite a little bit, while Icon dove right into the action, pushing Evil away. And Alchemy, once again, taking the priority over the Lord.
They're going to reset and try and get to it in the nick of time, but I don't think they can. It's going to be very, very tight. Powerful alone at the forefront, trying to open the map, trying to get them that info so that they can try and make an aggressive move in, but it's just not
He's
happening.
getting melted.
This is gonna be tough. I mean, he's gonna have to
Oh,
really...
oh my
God! Came in right in the nick of time! And now, without Booski, without Pacifist, Alchemy now have got a lot of work cut for themselves. The Lord is just gonna be hammering away with his trident. It's just gonna be holding himself down for a little while longer. But now Icon is gonna be taken down. Onwards connects, and now Donnie
They're
pushing
doing
with the heavy spin. He was hoping they would be able to buy a little bit more time, but that's not gonna work. Coconut, the heavy crossbows, literally everything is just gonna be running right down and over to the side of Alchemy. And Evil, they have managed to hold it on down for a little while longer, as now the Lord stands tall for the next defeat.
Can they do
20
it? They have
seconds.
the minions. They could just go straight down mid. They have the potential to do it, but can they close it out?
They can cycle. They can very much cycle. They don't have that wave.
He's
Someone
tanking
needs to
the wave.
tank. Someone needs to take the turret hits.
Carrot is currently going to be the one
They're
that's going to
going
be
for
doing that.
They
The
have to.
41 seconds creep wave is just going to be diving right in, and they still have one more ballista to work for themselves. But unfortunately, Pacifist is back in. But wait! Oh, the damage almost there! But now the ballista is just going to be hammering away. They have to be ending it! As such, the evil magic triumphs, and the alchemists unfortunately wasn't able to do much. Completely unparalleled.
I mean, what can I say? Evil, they adapted in the nick of time. It was a little bit slow, but they adapted in the nick of time. And this is what I mean. Alchemy are just not able to close out these crucial parts of the game despite having the advantage. So, I mean, what can you say? Disappointing as hell. I mean, if you imagine from Pacifist's point of view, he played a near-perfect game all the way, got them that map pressure, got the objectives, but by the time he came to the most crucial point, he didn't press his sprint in the nick of time, died once, and that was more than enough. And this is what it comes down to at these very, very, just intense moments of the game. It all comes down to that one thing.
An unfortunate journey, an unfortunate end to an incredulous journey from Alchemy SG. You can look at their faces. Disappointment, sadness. Their journey ends here. Again, for 2 seasons in a row, relegated out of the MPL League.
Well, it is very, very unfortunate, I gotta have to say. Alchemy went through it all, even though their regular season stats wasn't all that good. But everyone gotta have to agree that Alchemy, they played their hearts out here. They did their absolute best.
They hella did.
They hella did, and let's be honest here, at one point in time, in fact, in many points in time, throughout almost the entirety of Game 3, we thought that Alchemy is gonna walk away with this game and dispel the evil magic.
It looked so one-sided. It looked so one-sided from the get-go. It looked like any one point of time, a backdoor could happen at any moment, at any second. But at the end of the day, the magic of team fight still stands strong for Evil.
Indeed, it all boils down to who can adapt the fastest in these tiny things. And I mean, credits to Alchemy. They did it before, from relegation, they came back into the league. I'm pretty sure they can do it again. And like I mentioned from the very beginning, even from in the pre-game, this is all a transition period. It's all about looking to the future. I mean,
Yep.
you never know. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these players got picked up as some of the top 4 teams next season. Because honestly, when Icon, we talked about his high mechanics, even with that was it the turtle steel?
Yep.
Very, very good stuff. Puski as well. These are players that show that they do have a bright future ahead of them. I wouldn't take it as like a heads down, let it process, let the negativity and the emo-ness process. But at the end of the day, this is a very, very hard lesson that needed to be learned here.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the question is, what is going to be what is Alchemy gonna be like in the next season, as they have unfortunately been knocked out of the tournament at 7th-8th place. That means that they would have to fight their way back into MPL SG for Season 7. But you know, let's take a quick little recap and take a look at what really went down in game number 3 between these two. Itemizations